Facts tell. Stories sell. Welcome to day 112 of our Supersize You Annual Challenge. What the heck do stories have to do with us becoming the best possible version of ourselves and supersizing and creating the life that we want? Well, pretty much everything. We are, as human beings, always telling stories. We're always making up stories, even if they're not true, and telling them to ourselves. We are the biggest storyteller and creator in our entire universe, because constantly, all day long, in and out, we're telling ourselves a story about what happened, what it means, how we felt about it, and a lot of this is going on at a subconscious level. We're not even aware that we're doing it, yet we're doing it all the time. Another thing I learned from Tony Robbins decades ago was we think in questions. Our brain works in questions. Everything that happens, everything we experience, our brain automatically asks questions about it. What just happened? What did I just see? Did my eyes or my senses deceive me in any way, shape, or form? What does this mean to me? What do I need to do right now? And this happens in an instant. So the things that we automatically do, and it's like our brains work in pictures. People that say, I can't visualize, and I was one of them. I used to believe I couldn't visualize and that I couldn't imagine and create anything in my mind first. Okay, this was a long, long time ago, right? Because I've created so many things since I realized, oh my gosh, everything in my life I am creating. I'm making it all up as I go along based on the thoughts, the feelings, the choices, the emotions, the experiences, and the actions that I take, or the actions I don't take. So today we're talking about, of course, storytelling. Facts sell, stories. Facts sell. Facts tell, stories sell. Very, very popular saying, especially in the business world, because when we tell a story, people remember it. When we spew a bunch of features and facts about something, it goes, for most of us, in one ear and out the other. If it even makes it in the first ear, usually we've zoned out and our eyes are glazed over and we've stopped paying attention by the time the second fact is spewed out of someone's mouth. Have you ever met somebody that's trying to sell you into their network marketing company, or they're just got involved and they're so excited and they're spewing out fact after fact after fact after fact, but if they just stopped and shared their personal experience with the story, with the products or services, that story would do all the selling for them. Because if people would want or are looking for a similar result to what they got, they now are standing in front of living proof that it works and is possible for that person. So if it's possible for them, then it's possible for me. So what do all great stories have in common? They have a character, and a relatable character. It didn't say a lovable or positive or kind character. They got some kind of a character. Oftentimes, it's somebody that's in a really bad place is the beginning character of the story. Then some conflict happens, and the person has to face up to the thing that they're experiencing. Say you're experiencing bankruptcy. You might be in denial, and then all of a sudden you get the sheriff's notice on the door, and you're like, oh my God, I got to do something about this. And so then you figure out how you're going to overcome and solve that problem, or at least stay that foreclosure process. I don't know why I picked this as an example. And then you're going to have some kind of transformation and revelation. Maybe you're like, okay, I need to stop taking drugs and I need to go get a job so I can pay my mortgage so that my family and I aren't kicked out on the street in 30 days or whatever it is for your local area. So you could tell that story. Character may or may not be relatable. Maybe you do have some financial challenges in your life. How many people do not have or have not gone through a period of financial challenge in their life? I know very few people that have never had any sort of financial loss or financial challenge. Even my super ultra rich friends have had financial challenges, people trying to sue them, people stealing their intellectual property, people trying nowadays with AI, who knows what people are going to come up with in order to take advantage of other people and other businesses. So the three parts. Who's the character? If you're telling your own stories, you are automatically the character. What is some conflict or challenge that you've overcome? I don't know about you, but I'm 66 years old. I probably have had a challenge a day. How many challenges or lessons learned opportunities is that for stories? Actually infinite, right? We have infinite possible ways and infinite possible stories to share and communicate with people in a way that they actually can relate to, understand, really internalize, and then respond to or go on and share that story with somebody else. I share other people's stories all the time, especially when they tell me a story that touches my heart. I'm going to share that story because it powerfully impacted me, and I suspect it will impact other people just as much. So what are we going to do today? I challenge you to craft just a 2-minute, if you can do it in one, great story about something that you've overcome, some challenge that you've had in your life, some lesson that you had to learn. Maybe it's an ego check. Maybe you were a bully in school. Where are all these negative things coming from? But maybe you were a bully in school and you picked on somebody, and then all of a sudden you found yourself in a new environment and you were the one being picked on and bullied. And you had to figure out from that perspective, which taught you all about how you'd been in the past, and you went back and made amends and apologized to everybody. But whatever the story is, 2 minutes, comments below, like 5 sentences of a story that has the character, what position you were in to begin with, what transformation, and well, what you did, what process you took to change or have this light bulb moment. Maybe you picked up a book at the bookstore, or you met someone at the park that told you a lesson from their life that you could totally relate to, and that changed your point of view and perspective on everything. Whatever it is, and then your transformation and where you are now. That 3 steps makes the best stories for anything, any communication, sharing an experience with other people, getting people to know, like, and trust you and be relatable to you so they can involve you in their life or in their organization or in their club or in their whatever it is that you're seeking from them, right? We're all in sales. We don't like to think so, but everything in life is some sort of, I'm persuading you to let me do something, or to include me in something, or to be in a relationship with me. Whatever it is, we need to be able to communicate it in a way that people understand. Now you know people relate to stories and take action based on stories. What's one story that you heard that moved you to action? That would be another awesome thing to share in the comments below. I've heard so many stories that have moved me to action, I can't even keep track of them. I should have a whole book of just different stories in different categories. And I told myself a decade ago I was going to do that, and I did start writing them down in a notebook, but I think I'm going to go find that notebook today. This is my action item, and I am going to continue building that library of stories, because I think that it's one of the best things I could pass down to my kids in terms of being a grandma, and help them to learn that, yeah, grandma is human too. So here we go. All right, that's it for today. If I can help you in any way, just ask. If you want to know a story, just ask me. I'll share some stories with you. Maybe I'll offer to do that today. I'm super busy today, but I'll do it anyway. If you send me a problem or a challenge you're currently facing in the comments below, I will send you a story or a case study, probably just a story of someone I know that faced the exact same challenge and how they overcame it. All right, have an amazing day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.